Hello everybody and welcome back to Expert Examiner IELTS. My name is Glyn and in this video we have another practice speaking test, this time with Thanh from Vietnam. Let's take a look. Okay, good afternoon. My name is Glyn. Would you please tell me your full name?
Well, my name is Thanh, but it's kind of hard to pronounce in English, so you can call me T instead.
Okay, thank you, T. Now, in this first part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Where are you from, T?
Well, I am from Quy Nhơn City, which is a coastal city located in the middle part of Vietnam.
And do you like this place?
Yes, I do really like it because it's kind of balanced between the urban aspect and but it does also have that kind of like countryside feel to it. So it's not really that crowded like in Hanoi, but is have some kind of beautiful natural scenery that you can visit.
And are there any famous places or buildings in this town?
Well, one particularly famous building that I think of is the Twin Towers. So it's pronounced Tháp Đôi in Vietnam. So it's an ancient structure built by the Champa like 1,000 years ago. It's around 10 meters tall and it made from clay. Um, despite 1,000 years has passed, um, the structure is actually preserved quite is actually quite preserved, and I think that there is a constant stream of tourists visiting the area.
Let's move on now and talk about restaurants. Do you like eating at restaurants?
Well, I occasionally eat at a restaurant because I don't really feel like restaurants are that important. Like you can go to it to occasionally taste some kind of unique food, but nothing beats the food that I cook in my day-to-day life. I'm just very used to it.
And what are some factors that you think about when choosing a restaurant?
Well, I think that there are several important factors, and when the restaurant doesn't satisfy one of them, then you can just determine that the restaurant on what on going for. So, for example, the sanitary. I know that a couple of restaurants in my place have very bad sanitary. There are cockroaches all over the place, and another aspect is the food. So if the food is bland, then the restaurant is obviously not worth going to, and the price also.
Let's talk about workplaces now. Is it common for people in your country to work in an office?
Well, it's not really that common really because my city is a kind of tourism city, so most people in my place just kind of work in jobs related to tourism. So they can be either a janitor or a constructor maintaining infrastructure for these kind of tourism sites, or they or some of them can be like tour guide. So most of the people in my city don't work in offices.
Okay, thank you. Now, in this next part of the test, I'm going to give you a topic, and I would like you to speak about this topic for 1 to 2 minutes. But before that, you will have 1 minute to prepare for your talk, and you may take notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I will now share the topic on my screen. Can you see the topic?
Yes.
I'd like you to describe a family member you spend a lot of time with. Your 1 minute of preparation time starts now. Okay, so that's the end of your preparation time. To remind you, you will have between 1 and 2 minutes to give your talk, and I will let you know when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay, so I'm gonna describe my dad, which I spend a lot of time with. So my dad is currently around 15 years old, 50 years old. So he is 30 years old older than me. So he is he I've spent a lot of time in my free time. I spend a lot. I walk with him, I fish with him, and I go to beach with him. So I actually spend actually spend around 1 to 2 hours a day to spend time with him. And I think that it just kind of shaped the bond between me and my father. Like when we are walking or fishing or doing any kind of leisure activities, we are just going about, we just talk about things in the world. We talk about how Mr. Principal in my school are doing this or that, why politician A and B are doing like that. Or no, we have a lot, we chatted a lot, and we open a lot of personal topic about each other. I mm, so, mm, but my dad isn't like kind of some kind of perfect person though. Although I do love him, I have to admit that he is kind of impulsive. He is hot-headed and he can be easily angered. But I think that it probably comes from the fact that he has to do a lot of work. Um, but I also found out that under his kind of hot-headed appearance, that he is also a soft person. So if you don't bother him, then he is actually a nice person to hang out with, and
Okay, thank you. And does your dad enjoy spending time with you?
yes, he does. I actually have a sister, and he usually ensure that both of us have spent some time with our family too. It is by him working basically like 12 hours a day.
Okay, thank you. So you've been speaking about a family member you spend a lot of time with. Now I'd like to talk to you about family relationships in general. How important is it to learn about family history?
I think that is highly important because you need to know about your belonging, like who is your ancestor. Uh, with that, you can appreciate like, who you really is. So and some people are also just do it for the sake of it, like they just like in like researching about their ancestry is also create them a sense of belonging, like they feel like they are part, that they are themselves.
And do you think we should try to maintain good relationships with all of the people in our extended family, like our cousins, uncles, aunties, and so on?
Well, I think that it kind of depends on the personal circumstances of every person. So, for example, in my family, people are actually really nice. My uncle are really supporting of me going down this kind of engineer path, and some of them even encourage me to work in their to work in the industry, to work in a competitive industry. So, but I know that in many family, the people in the extended family isn't too nice, so they kind of exploit you when you get some kind of money, either from having working your first job, or you just won a lottery, then they just kind of harass you. So I think that it kind of depends on who on the type of person. Obviously, if they are bad, then don't hang out with them.
Okay, thank you. Now, do you agree that most people nowadays prefer to spend their time with their friends more than with their family members?
Well, it's sad, but I think that this is the case because many people, most of them are teenagers. They actually find spending time with their friends more enjoyable, because when they are with them, then when they are with their friends, then they can openly talk about a lot of stuff. But they are not really comfortable with opening their personal issues with their parents or their family members because they are fearing that they will be ridiculed.
And do you think this problem will get better or worse in the future?
Oh, I am not really sure, but if I had to take a guess, it would probably be better because um many because many adults are actually recognizing are starting to recognize this kind of problem, and I believe that they will just do some they will do something about it.
Okay, thank you. That is the end of the test. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that practice speaking test with T. If you would like your own practice speaking test with feedback, do get in touch. Information on how to contact me is given below. Of course, in the next few days, another video will go up on my channel with feedback, commentary, analysis, and scores of this candidate's performance. And I did a few other speaking tests today, so certainly more content coming. But for now, I will leave it there. Thank you very much, and goodbye.